Hello and welcome to today's upgrade, which is gonna be this intake. As usual, if you've watched my previous videos, we're gonna do a before run, do a virtual dyno, then I'm gonna change it, then I'm gonna do another run and see if we have any gains. And also I'm going to give you some noise review, some review with remap to see if we get any gains there. And just a refresher, if you haven't watched any of my previous videos so far, I've changed the pipe, I've changed the collector, the manifold, the downpipe and the cat. Other than that, it's bone stock, and of course I have the remap, but I'm gonna test it stock and with tune as well, so I'm not counting that. So yeah, with that being said, let's unbox the intake and let's install it and let's start driving. Right, let's do this properly. If you're interested in seeing what's in the box, I just opened it 2 seconds ago, so let's go. We have this bracket, we have this, alright, some instructions, paper, okay, oh that's a lot of hardware, okay. Some rubber, that's probably for the box right here. Okay. Right, here's the box itself with the filter, I can see it inside. That's rubber, I thought it was metal. Okay, that's the part that goes into the turbo. Here's the place for the MAF sensor, some lining, and here's the bracket for the top, which I think I'm not going to use. Initially I'm going to use it, but afterwards I'm going to make one for myself so that I don't see the AEM logo. Not that I don't like it, but I want it to be clean. I don't want anyone to see that I have an aftermarket intake. So yeah, and here's the box, but I'm gonna need 2 hands for that. Right, there's the filter. Damn, it looks very good. And there's the box. Box is a bit heavy for my likings, but yeah, it will do the job initially. Afterwards I have a body that does 3D printing, so we might play around and create a lighter one, but yeah, this is good. To be honest, I only really wanted this filter because yeah, the K and N ones, they need the oiling. This one is dry, as you probably know, so this is for me the most expensive part of the bunch. But of course you can't just go and place this into your car without any sort of housing, because it will suck the hot air and basically run worse than with the stock intake. So this is absolutely necessary. So yeah, with that being said, let's do the before dyno runs and let's install it, and then I'm gonna do some after runs. I'm gonna give you some of my opinion on sound and so on. So let's go. The total weight of the whole kit, as you can see, everything is bundled together. It's, you can't see very well, but it's 2.8 kilograms, so almost 3 kilograms. I'm pretty sure the stock one is lighter, but I'll let you know about that when I disassemble it. So yeah, let's do that. Alright, so it's in the evening. I had a very busy day. I'm a bit tired, but at the same time I'm very excited for this upgrade, so I decided to change it now. And since it's dark, I decided not to show in details how to change it, because if you watch my previous videos, you know how this goes. Usually it's very difficult for me. Anyways, changing your intake should be a very easy job, so I'm just gonna give some pointers. First thing is, as you can see, I removed this piece, which is basically those two clips, and there's a small bolt here. You can see where it's a bit rusted, and this comes off. Next steps: remove the MAF, disconnect the wiring from here. BOV has to be removed. There's a small bracket, and from there I see one or maybe two things that I need to unplug. One of them being this here, which is I think for the PCV, where you usually connect the catch can, which soon I'm gonna add one here. But not to digress, there's that, and then obviously there's the bracket on the turbo, which I need to wait a little bit because the car is very warm right now, so I might burn myself. And if this is not easy to do, I'll just remove this cooler pipe, but I'll try not to do that. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If there's something different that I missed, I'm just gonna let you know, and once I remove it, we'll see how to install this new one. But there's documentation there, and there's plenty of videos online showing how to do it, so I think we can skip that part. Just a quick tip: if you want to reach this small bolt there for the bracket, just use this. Use some extension. As you can see, I can reach it that way. Alright, it's all out. It's pretty much what I told you. There were two things that I needed to remove, was the BOV, and that was it. The bracket was a bit tough because of my manifold and the upper intercooler pipe, but was an issue. Now, something that I saw, as you can see, this oil here, this is because I don't have a catch can, and yeah, I gotta fix that because this is going straight into the engine, which is not good. But yeah, now what we need to do, we gotta take this piece here and swap this MAF sensor right onto where is it? This pipe here, and then we can start installing the new one into the car. Oh yeah, this one too. This part has to go. It has to disconnect from here and go to the new box, but again, that's easy, so let's do it. Alright, some time has passed and I added it, installed. I gotta say, the fitment, I was a little bit disappointed actually. From the pictures it was like absolutely like plug and play, but there were some things that I have to twist in order to fit them. This blow valve, as you can see, it's very close to hitting this. It's probably something that I didn't do right, maybe something here, something with the alignment, but yeah, in the end it's there. Also here, the provided hardware, the provided tool was not matching this hardware nor this. It was only matching the old MAF sensor. For this I had to use my own tools, so that's a little bit of a zonk there. But yeah, I haven't started the car yet, so I'll do that and hopefully it works. First start. Seems like it's working. Let's hear it. Well, you can't really hear anything here, so I'm gonna go take it for a ride and I'm gonna give you my very first impression. It's not gonna be live because it's very late in the evening, but nonetheless I'll try to let you know. Hey guys, it's the next day and the first numbers are out, so let's review them together. This is the average run that I got yesterday evening. This is the stock tune with the stock intake, and now let's go one by one and compare them to today's runs with the new intake. So as you can see, it's pretty much the same. This one says like few horsepower more, but this one does look quite the same, except for the AFR here, which the AFR is a bit leaner basically. And yeah, this is consistent throughout other runs. So to answer the question, does the intake change the AFR? Does it affect it? Yes, seems like it does. So let's move to the other one. This one, again, here some gain in the middle. As you can see, this is a common thing. AFR is richer, the horsepower is pretty much the same. And also keep in mind that this, although this was done yesterday, the old one and the new ones are done today, the temperature is pretty much identical, so there shouldn't be any difference. Here again, some gain on the middle range. RPM, this one is fluctuating a bit, but it does seem to be a little more leaner, the new one. So let's go and check the other one. Same thing here, a little bit gain on the mid-range, and by a little bit I mean this would mean like this is 239 and this is 251. Basically that's a good like 10 horsepower gain here on the mid-range, and again it's leaner. So on a stock tune there is a difference. Personally, when I was driving I didn't notice it as much, although I mean I haven't driven on the stock tune for a while. I drive on my other one, so yeah, maybe it's because of that, but yeah, technically it is a bit faster. And in terms of sound, I don't know, I don't think I mean definitely I hear it a little bit more, but yeah, I think that if the box is open it will be much louder, but I don't really care about sounds, I care about power. So yeah, the sound is better definitely, but it's not as if it was an open box. So yeah, let's do some more runs with the tune and let's see if we get any gains there. Right, here are the results with the custom tune, but before that, boy does it make better sound with the tune, because here the boost is much higher. You can actually hear it much better sucking the air, and yeah, the sound is very good. I mean, on stock tune you can't really hear it as much, but here it's very obvious, and yeah, it sounds good. But with that being said, as you can see, we have a clear loss of power actually with the tune. So basically that would mean one of two things, or both actually. One is my tune, and this is actually true, is not suited for this intake. As you can see from the values here, this is now very lean. As you can see, 12.5 compared to 11.7. This is very lean, so I gotta adjust that. But the other issue might be that this one is not taking the cold air as good as the stock one, and this is because, you know, the hole on the back where we have the rubber, well, there's a small window that the hot air from the engine can pass through. I'm not sure if that's happening, but I'll try to isolate it as much as I can, and I'll do the retest. But yeah, and I'll also do the retune to adjust the fuel timings, and hopefully we get a better result. But yeah, the sound is much better, but I would like to have this performance on par with the stock one, because otherwise yeah, I'm not, if I don't manage to make it better or at least the same, I'm not sticking to this, because I want performance, I don't want sound and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll do the retune, the adjustments, and I'll let you know. Alright, here we go. In terms of weight, the original intake is 2.1 kilograms. I don't know if you can see it right, but anyway, yeah, that's with the filter inside and all the plastics and this rubber piece. 2.1. So by adding the AEM we gain 700 grams and hopefully you get better performance. Hey guys, so it's been a few days later, and after I did some tuning, additional maps and stuff like that, I still am not managing to get the same performance as with the stock intake. And one of the things that I don't like about this new one is this pipe. So yeah, basically it doesn't, there's a hole in the back which lets, in my opinion, lets the hot air in. So I decided to create my own pipe. But as you can see, this thick part is gonna stay exactly on the rubber side, which will prevent the air from coming in from the back, only from the front. So hopefully this will improve it. And yeah, other than that, I have the muff housing. Yeah, hopefully it works, because yeah, it's my first time designing something and printing it, so hopefully it works. But yeah, I'm gonna create this pipe, I'm gonna put it in the car, and hopefully I at least get on the same level of performance as with the stock one. Otherwise, I don't think I'm gonna even stick with this, because yeah, the sound is great, but I want performance. So yeah. Alright, so far so good. We have 41 hours left. So yeah, definitely I'm gonna have to wait a few days with this, but yeah, I hope it works in the end, because I don't wanna get rid of this intake. It's very good looking. So yeah, I got my hopes on for that. Here we are, a few days later, and the pipe is ready, and I think it looks very well. I haven't tested if the muff sensor will fit here, but as you can see, the nut is in place, so that at least is working. As far as here the holes, as you can see, there aren't almost, or they're almost none, except for this little small one here. Oh. But I think this is not a concern. It's not like it used to be. So the only air that's gonna be coming is from here. So yeah, I can share the 3D project if you're interested, but this is the pipe. I printed it from this way, and yeah, it turned out very well. The only bad spots are these, but this was basically impossible to avoid. But it's still very good. I mean, the quality is good. It's lighter. This is 100 grams less than the aluminum pipe, so we're actually saving weight here. And the diameter is the same as the OEM one. So the one for AEM comes with like 3-inch. This is 2.5-inch, and basically there isn't any difference except for the 3-inch. You need to retune your muff scaling, and I don't want to do that, so I decided just to go with 2.5 inches. In theory, there shouldn't be any difference in performance, because 2.5 inches, from what I read, is good to up to like 4 something horsepower, and I'm well below that for now, so we should be good for that. And yeah, strength is very rigid. I try to step on it, I try to abuse it, but it's holding very well. We'll see how it goes with heat, but this will be after some time. I'll try to give you an update. So yeah, with that being said, let's put it in the car. And before that, I decided to test as well how the filter performs without the box at all. So like the open air, I don't know what it's called, basically without any boxing. So currently it's in my car without any boxes, and the sound it makes is amazing, but I don't know if the performance is better or worse. So If it's the same, I may as well leave it without the box. But if it's worse, I don't care about sound that much, so I'll leave it with the box. But yeah, let's see that. Something else that I decided to do is I bought this plexiglass or transparent glass or transparent plastic. I don't know what it's exactly called, but I decided to make a cover out of it. So as you can see, I drilled some holes. I made a template from the original aluminum one, and then I used this handy tool to cut it. So yeah, I don't know if I said it in the beginning of the video that I wanted an aluminum one without the letters to make the car look as stock as possible. I don't know if I said that, but after I've had it for a few days, I actually really like the actual filter, so I wanna be able to look at it. So I made this. This is gonna be transparent, so whenever I open the engine bay, I'll be able to look at the filter, and yeah, I'll be able to even monitor the state if it's dirty or not. So yeah. Okay, so after all that, the pipe, this of course is more for aesthetics, but still, unfortunately no power gains really. It's still as the first runs with the filter. With my tune just doesn't work. I played around with the tune, but yeah, it just doesn't seem to work. The air is cold, but yeah, the stock intake system still performs better so far. As you can see here, I've blocked all the entries from the back with this new pipe that I created, so no cold air is coming in, and still unfortunately no improvements. So next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this box fully, or actually first I'm gonna try removing the top only to see if there's a difference, and then I'm gonna try removing the whole box to see if we can get some better power that way. And if we do, well, it will have to be boxless. It will suck some hot air, but at least it will perform better. But yeah, let's see first. If none of that happens, I'll try a few more things, and if it's not faster and better, I'll just go to stock. There's no reason to waste power on something that just looks good. So yeah, let's test it with the box off. Alright, finally some results that are a bit of an improvement. So currently what I have is the setup is without any box, without anything, just the filter and the pipe. So here we have, let's see, the black and the blue ones are the short RAM, or the current way of the setup, and the green and the blue one are the runs with the stock intake with the panel filter. So as you can see, finally we are starting to do some gains here. As you can see, the horsepower is like the peak horsepower is there. So the old runs, if I can show you, this is an old run. The red one, as you can see, it's very bad. I mean, here is falling like 20-30 horsepower. This is the current state. So as you can see here, in the almost 5,000 RPM range, as you can see here, we're staying around 240, and here we're like 260. So that's a very good gain, and it's also can be felt in the car. But the thing that is not so cool currently, it's not more than like 23 degrees because it's early in the morning. But if you go here, oh, not this one, sorry. All right, if you go here and if you filter the IAT like that, you can see that it's 32 degrees. So it's picking quite a lot of heat from the engine. So the next steps will be to work out some way to like fix that to get some better airflow, cold air, but without the restrictions of that box, because it seems like there are restrictions there. I don't know if it's because of this small air scoop that it is, or something else that's causing it, but there's definitely some struggle for air for sure, which is strange because the panel filter works, but this one just, I don't know, just doesn't want to work so well. So I'll try to fix that, but yeah, the good news is that we finally managed to make a case where it's doing some more than the stock OEM one, so I'm happy for that, and I'm going to start working from here. In terms of the current map, as you can see, it's hovering about 11.2. Here it's 11, so we can pick it up just a little bit to 11.5, 11.7, but I don't know if that's gonna increase the power that much, maybe like 2-3 extra horsepower. But I'm gonna do the remap as a last thing. I wanna set up the airflow to have as much cold air as possible with the best flow as possible, so I'm gonna work on that, and I'll just give you an update when I come up with something that works. Alright, so here I am back on the drawing board. I have taken out the intake box, the air scoop, and this plastic piece of the hood. So what I'm going to do here, as you can see, I've bolted up this to be just as it is in the car, and now I'm gonna try to make a model out of this in the Fusion 360 app, so then I can print a piece, or actually two pieces, that basically will guide the air, which should come from here. So as you can see, this here is a bit of a blocker, so I just want to make sure there's a path for the air to come here, go bypass that, and enter straight in to the filter, because as we found out, the box seems to be a little bit restrictive. So yeah, I think this naturally, like the natural push of air inside will should improve this a little bit, because seems like there's quite a bit of demand for air at the mid-range, and there's not enough of it. So we'll try to fix that, and in the worst case, if this doesn't work, which I think it should work, but if it doesn't work, I'll have to just try to either cut this actually, or just create a different box that will be like better suited. But I like this one, so yeah, we'll probably have to cut it like that, so we have an open place for the air to come in. It will be on this side, which is the cold side. The engine is here, so it shouldn't be like 60 degrees Celsius as it was when I was without the box. Yeah, it was 60 degrees Celsius. It was very hot while like standing idle, and while driving it was like 40 something, I don't know. I probably showed you already that, I don't remember. Anyway, let's do that. I don't know, for me it will probably take a few days to do it, because I don't have that much time, but you will probably see it instantly. Anyway, I'll try to like take the measurements here. I just want to make it plug and play, so that you can stick it here and then stick it somewhere here, so it will guide the air once it comes up. And then the second piece will be a small like 90-degree bend, which is going to be sitting here that way, so that the air will come and it will push and it will go up. And this will eventually gonna have to be cut, because it's like basically it's blocking the air, as you can see. air is coming and it hits this way. Currently I'm gonna try to scoop it from below that, where it goes to the radiator and the intercooler, but if this doesn't work, or if I find out that it works, I'll try to optimize it by cutting this. So yeah, let's get into it and I'll keep you posted. Alright, here we are, present day. I'm doing a little job fest. But yeah, I started this in June. Now it's mid-October and I finally managed to do it basically the way the stock intake should work. But before that, a few updates. I've done some changes to the car, so just want to let you know. This pipe, as you can see, I just changed because it was old and it was always like dirty, so I changed with a silicone one. There's a catback exhaust on the back. Here there's a small heat shield that I made. There's a 3-port boost controller here. I changed this. As you can see, this one is capped off, so now the blow off gases go into the vent. I'll add a catch can, but it will be later on, because you saw the shit that it make to the old pipe, so I didn't want to do the same here. So now it goes somewhere above the gearbox. Anyway, I have other mods, the suspension for example, but in terms of power, this is it. There's a boost controller, there's a catback, and that's pretty much it. Now for the intake, let's start from there. So this is the AEM one. This hasn't changed. Here I went with the stock muff housing. Basically what happened is the 3D printed one, the POA doesn't like heat at all, so it was started to deform, so I went with this. Then I got this silicone pipe. I will probably buy a red one in the future, but they only had blue. There's a little bit of bend here. Then there's the filter. As you can see, I'm still using the plexiglass. It's a bit rough, but soon I'll just create a new one. Here I've just used the small foam to make sure there's no air coming in from that side. And moving forward, this is the stock one, and this is the new piece that I designed. It was plastic and then I converted it to aluminum. So here's how it stands. It's pretty flat, and here on the bottom you can see that I have this here aluminum. I can't focus. Okay, you can see it. Yeah, so the air will hit here, it will come here and it will go straight in. So how did I test it, if it's the same or better than stock? Spoiler alert, it's the same. But I use the stock muff location, so that if there was not enough air, the few trims would go negative. And so the results are in idle, they were going negative, so I did have to scale the muff for the first few volts up to like 2 volts I think. And for driving it was basically the same. The few trims were staying at exactly 0, so that was good. But yeah, I did have to do some mods. So here, as you can see now, of course I can't really film through glass, but the filter is now facing directly the scoop. Before that, the front of the filter, which is blocked in on that kind of filter, was like facing it this way, basically blocking half of the entry. So for me that was I mean, it didn't quite make sense why it was made like that, but yeah, currently as it is, it's pretty much as if it was the stock intake. It only looks a bit better, of course. And in terms of sound, now like that, inside the cabin you don't hear anything, but if you are in front of the car, and the way that now the air sucking is concentrated here, it sounds really good. Other than that, while I was doing the testing, the sound while without the box was amazing. I mean, it was very good, but while on the traffic lights or something, the intake air temperature was raising up until like 60 degrees Celsius, which like it's not good for a 30-degree weather. 60 Celsius is not good, double basically. So yeah, I'm sticking with this. I actually like it how it looks. So yeah, let me show you some dyno runs. Alright, and let's see a dyno run. I was very happy with that one, so I even printed it. So of course I'm not showing before and after here. The before is the first time I dynoed my car without any mods, without any retune, so you can say it's a bit high, and that is true, but assuming all settings are the same, as you can see, weight is set to the same. You can see the power that I've extracted on like 5000 RPM. I've gained 100 horsepower. This is with the 3-port boost controller as well. With the 2-port I was getting like 20 horsepower less across the board. So if you're just wondering, yeah, it's worth doing this. In the end, the intake didn't contribute to that. Actually, honestly, the only thing that I've changed and contributed to more power was the 3-port and the high flow cat. The catback also didn't add any power. But now I know, and who knows, maybe the intake will be helpful for higher horsepower. At least that's what people say in the forums, so that this intake like is useful if you're going above 400 horsepower, but we'll see that maybe in the future. But since I have it and I made it to be not worse than the OEM intake, I'm gonna keep it because, well, I spent the money. So yeah, and that is gonna be it, guys. It was few months and I'm happy that I'm finally finished with this intake, because it took a lot of time, a lot of effort, and on the other hand I'm happy because I did learn quite a few things, especially about map scaling. I was a bit scared to do that beforehand, but I saw that it's nothing difficult. But if you are like me and you have just buttons, I would say put your money somewhere else. If I was now shopping for upgrades, I would skip the manifold, I would skip the intake, I mean, the manifold was correct, but if it wasn't correct, I would skip it. I would skip even the catback. And with all this money, I would be able to get some new injectors, for example, and do some changes to a turbo, like maybe save some more and get an MHI if you want some power, or maybe put the money in suspension. The suspension mods and the seats are one of my best upgrades that I made to this car. The car is like nothing in comparison with the stock suspension. I was on springs, this is a GSR, so I was on springs. But yeah, it's not like you're making your car worse, but you just need to like keep in mind that it won't get much better with the intake. But with that being said, thank you for watching. Hopefully you found some of this helpful. Stay tuned, because I have some more things that I've done to the car that is more beneficial. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you next time.